Okay, folks, this is the information that I've been holding back from showing you for so long now. And I'm going to try to make each video, as short as possible, okay? Because it's going to be either 2 or 3 parts. And the best, information is going to be in the last part, obviously. But it's all going to be incredible information. Now, Elvis had an identical twin that supposedly died at birth. And this is where Elvis and his other family members are buried at Graceland, where Elvis lived in Memphis, Tennessee. And look at this little grave right here. This is supposedly the grave of his dead twin. I mean, you would think that they would make the grave just as big as, these gravestones. Even though his body's of that of a baby, it still doesn't matter, It just looks disrespectful. But anyway, so you see this right here? This part right here looks like the top of the Space Needle. If you take this whole round part right here and the middle, it looks just like the top of the Space Needle. Because I told you, everything connects to Elvis and Seattle. Okay, and the Space Needle. It looks just like the top of the Space Needle. But of course, different color. Do you see it? You know what I'm saying? If you take this whole rounded part right here and the middle. Anyway, so let's move on. So this is a closer image of that gravestone, and here's the bigger gravestones. Let's take a really close look at the dead twins' gravestone. Like I said, something very sinister happened the day these twins were supposedly born. Anyway, sometimes they spell his name Jesse in certain places, but on his gravestone, it says Jessie. Okay, so this is his name, Jesse Garone Presley. And by the way, my name is Garo, Garo. You see that? So his dead twin has my name in his middle name. Anyway, let me show you how important this name Jesse is and how it all connects to the twins. But before I show you that, let me just show you one connection to the 9/11, that I've shown before. So the word twin equals 66. And from the day Elvis was born, the twins were born, to the day September 11th happened, where the Twin Towers fell. Look at that. It's 66 years. That's the twin number. And then you have 8 months, 4 days. And I told you 8/4 is Obama's birthday, the day Trump gets his head wound. Okay? The Seattle event is in June. That connects to Elvis and Seattle's on June 11th. But 8/4 is the Trump head wound in Ohio. Anyway, like I said, it's the twin number, 66 and the 8/4. And look at this. It's 800 months and 4 days. Again with the 8/4. And I told you the O's are crowns. Okay, anytime you see zeros, it's crowns. And like I said, it's 66 years from Elvis's birthday to the 9/11. It was 66 years. And twin equals 66. Okay, now I'm going to show you what the Jesse connection to twin and Elvis. So, the identical twins, Jesse and Elvis, this is how they spell their names. This is what they equal, each letter. Okay, and look at the total. Watch this. So the total for each one is 67, 67. Okay? And why is this important? So the two twins, they both equal the same, their names. Their first names, 67 and 67. So you're about to see why the date 9/11 was chosen. Okay? So from Elvis's birthday, the day he was born, the twins, in that same year that he was born, up to the date 9/11, September 11th, Remember, it's 8 months, 4 days. Okay? Because earlier I showed you up to the year 2000, it was 66 years, 8 months, 4 days. So in the same year, it's going to be 8 months, 4 days, right? Now watch what I show you, okay? See, I told you there's something, the devil is in the details. And the last equation, look at that. You see that? The percentage of the year is 67-67. It's the twins, Elvis and Jesse. Okay? Do you understand what the percentage means? That like whatever date you start with is how many days forward that is. That's all it is, the percentage. So the farther, years you go, it'll be higher and higher, the numbers. So it's 67.67. Do you see that? The last equation, because the devil is in the details. You see that? 67-67. Do you understand what I'm showing you? It's the killing of the twins. Do you understand? Do you see it? 67-67. Okay, now Elvis died on August 16th. You see this? August 16th. And I told you Elvis is going to make his return around June 11th after a spectacular event in Seattle. Okay, so it's June 11th that somehow Elvis, his image or the name or the number of his name, whatever, I don't know. But somehow Elvis is a part of the Seattle spectacular event that's going to happen on June 11th. So let's go from June 11th to August 16th, just in the same year, from June 11th to August 16th. So from June 11th to August 16th is 67 days. You see that? It's the 67 again. And notice it's 2 months and 6 days. The word God equals 26. But forget about that. It's 67 again. And why is 67 so important? Why is it so important? Because the words, when written into the gematria calculator, the number 67 is the very first number. If you went from 1 all the way to 67, the 67 would be the first number that equals 162 right here. This is the most important number, 162. I mean, the first number is the most important number. So 162, why is this important, the 162? You see, the 162nd day of the year is June 11th. The day I'm telling you there's going to be a spectacular event in Seattle. Okay? That's why 67 is so important, because it's the first number that equals 162, which is June 11th. And remember, I told you that if you wrote their birth dates, the twins, they were born on 1/8/18, and if you switched it around and wrote the day first and the month second, 8/1/81, you'd get 162 or 216. And those are my two prediction dates. That Trump gets his head wound on August 4th, the 216th day of the year, and June 11th is the 162nd day of the year, the day Seattle gets struck. You see that? If you believe these are coincidences, you're nuts. And just like I showed you that Elvis died on 8/16 and Trump's going to get his head wound on 8/4, it's 162 again with a crown. You see? And if you switch the numbers around, it would be 2016, 216. You see? And that would be August 4th, the 216th day of the year. And also the year that Trump, won the presidency. And Barack, was still the president at the time, 2016. And he's born on 8/4. Do you understand? All of this connects. And I told you it's either 2/16s or 16/2. Do you get it? 16/16. And if you go forward from Elvis's birthday, the day the twins were born, to June 11th, 1616 days, 1616, it lands on June 11th. The two 16s, get it? 1616. Let me just recap before I show you more new information. So 67, like I said, is the first number that equals 162, and the 162nd day of the year is June 11th. Okay, 67. And from June 11th to the day Elvis died, August 16th, is 67 days, right? And from the day Elvis was born, the twins, up to the date 9/11 in the same year, I told you not only was it 8 months and 4 days, but it's the 67-67 in the percentage. This is the most important thing, and I'm going to prove it to you by the end of these videos, okay? 67-67, that's the Elvis-Jesse connection, the twins. Like I said, Jesse and Elvis, the identical twins, 67-67. Sorry about all the noise, folks. They're doing construction around my apartment building, okay? And I told you my apartment is really small, and you can hear everything when they bang everything. Anyway, I showed you that from June 11th, the target date for Seattle, it's 67 days up to August 16th, right? Let's see what else is important about August 16th, the day Elvis died. Remember, the devil is in the details. So now check this out. If you start from the very first day of the month, okay, and up to August 16th, there's stuff in this too, but look, it's the devil is in the details. I told you, watch. 67-67. So you remember earlier I was showing you the 67.67. Now it's the 67-67. Okay? And it lands on August 16th. You see how important that date is? And that's from the first of the month. And remember, I showed you that from Elvis's birthday to 9/11 was 247 days, see? And this is 24,700. It's with 2 crowns, you see? And the only way I could connect June 11th to the 67-67 is, look at this. October 8th is 10/8. It's 108. Get it? 10/8. Elvis was born on 108. You know what I'm saying? January 8th would be 108. October is 10/8. It's the same numbers. You get it? And it lands on June 11th, and you get 67-67. I guess that's just a coincidence, right? So Elvis died at the age of 42. Let's see if these connections are worth talking about. So Elvis died at 42 years old. So interestingly enough, from Elvis's birthday to the date 4/2, and 4/2 is like the 42, get it? He died at the age of 42 on the date 8/16. You see that? 816 days from Elvis's birthday to 4/2. 42. Elvis died at 42 on 8/16. And look at this. Look at this. 222. You see those 2s? And the 6. Because I told you he's going to come back in June. June is the 6th month in 2022. And look at this. 2626. Again, it's the word God. God, God. God equals 26. I told you that. And remember, I told you that June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. So from Elvis's death, okay, and if you started from the first of the month, like a year and 7 months, like a year backwards, look, it's 162. You see, it's got the 162.74, and 74, I told you, is a super important number that connects to Jesus and to Lucifer, okay? Like I said, you have to watch my videos to understand, but it's the 162 again. And it lands on August 16th from the first of the month. Okay? The day Elvis died. 162nd day of the year is June 11th. So now let me connect Washington's death date to Elvis's death date, from death to death. Because Seattle's in Washington, do you understand? So Washington died on December 14th, 1214, okay? And by the way, I know that Elvis died in the year 77, but in order to get this equation, what I'm about to show you, I had to use a leap year. It only happens in leap year, but watch what happens from Washington's death date to Elvis's death date. Death to death. Okay? Look. 67.67. You see? It's the twin, Elvis Jesse. You see, I told you the devil is in the details. And how old was George Washington when he died? 67. Do you see what I'm trying to explain to you? Because I told you 67 is the first number that equals 162. 162nd day of the year is June 11th. And the identical twins, Jesse and Elvis, are the 67. And I showed you from Elvis's birthday to 9/11 is 67. The twin, Jesse and Elvis. And they brought down the Twin Towers on 9/11. Okay, we're coming down to the end of the video, folks. So you know that there's a new Elvis movie coming out, and I told you Elvis is going to be everywhere around the month of June because the new Elvis movie starring Tom Hanks is coming out June 24th, 2022. And pay attention, it's going to be something really important I show you. First of all, June is the 6th month. 2 plus 4 is 6, and then 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. So you have 6, right? And I told you guys that June is the 666th month. You know, I know you're not going to understand it if you never watched my videos, but June is the 666th month. Anyway, let's see from Washington's death date, the exact day he was born. I mean, the day Washington died, exact date up to this date. Let's see what the numbers are. So from the exact day that George Washington died back in December 14th, 1799 to the day the Elvis movie's coming out is 81,277 days. I mean, there's connections to this too, but I'm not going to get into that. Just look at this. 222 years, because this year's 222. Washington's been dead for 222 years, and Washington's birthday celebrated on 222. You know that, right? And look at that, 6 months, 11 days from Washington's death. You see? 6 months, 11 days. That's the day that Seattle gets struck on 6/11/2022. Do you see? All right. And remember, the devil is in the details. Look at this. First of all, look at the weeks. 11,611 weeks. You have 11/6, 6/11. And you remember I was showing you those calendars, how the calendar works. Every cycle is 11 and 6 years, whatever. If you watch my video, you'd know. Anyway, look at the devils in the details. 222, 67. You see? It's the twin, Elvis and Jesse, and the 2022. And remember, this is from Washington's death date to the day the Elvis movie comes out, okay? 6/24. And what happened last year on 6/24? You had the building collapse in Florida. It happened at 1 a.m., 1 something at 1 a.m. on 6/24. And if you want to watch my video about that, go and watch it, okay? Because, you know, I go into more detail. Right now, I'm just going to explain to you that it was 2 buildings, a south and a north tower. I told you, again, with the twins, and they were 13 stories. 13 and 13 equals 26, which equals God again, you see? Anyway, that's what happened last year, the condo collapse. One of the twins fell. And like I said, if you know my videos, you know what I'm about to show. That on our calendar, which is the Gregorian calendar, June 24th would be June 11th on the old Julian calendar, what we used to go by. So 624 is actually 611. And Washington's death date, December 14th, would be December 1st on the old calendar. So watch what I do. I'm going to go from December 1st to June 11th now. See what happens? It becomes the exact same equation as from December 14th to 624 when the Elvis movie comes out. So the old Julian calendars, the Washington's death date would be December 1st, and the movie release 624 would actually be 611. And you get the 222 years, 6 months, 11 days on 611. Do you see? 611, 611. And you are going to get that 6767, you see? The twin number. I told you folks, the devil's in the details. And wait, this is just part one of what I'm going to show you. All right, I told you, I broke the matrix, folks. You're going to see it, and you're not going to believe what you see on the next, well, at least the end video, the last one, is going to just blow your mind. Anyway, for the new people, don't mix up my predictions. I told you, the Elvis Seattle event is around June 11th, and the Trump head wound is on Obama's birthday, August 4th, most likely in Ohio. Okay, Trump gets the head wound and he survives. Anyway, like I said, this was part one. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to call it part two and part three, but you'll see when I show you the same type of, calculations, but for other, for other stuff. I'm saying it's going to be new information. You'll see. Like I said, folks, it's going to blow your mind. This is the be all end all of information as far as truth on YouTube. By the way, you know that 6/11/2022 is also 666 because 6 times 11 equals 66. And then you have the 2 plus, 222 is 6. So this could also be 666. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was just, want to make sure I cover everything here. All right, folks, end of video.